Good afternoon, everybody. In the today's class of this non-destructive evolution, we would like to proceed regarding the ultrasonic testing process. So far we have been discussed the liquid penetrant test, eddy current testing process, and radiographic technologies at different frequency levels utilized for examining only to the surface level of verification and the subsurface level of the verification over the different kinds of equipments within the industry, or else different number of articles which are being manufactured in the case of industry. So it is limiting to a particular extent that only the surface finishing, whether it has been obtained as per the vendor's requirement or not, only can be identified with effectiveness by considering those radiographic technologies and limits to a maximum depth of its penetration. But it will be overcoming in the case of this ultrasonic testing process. Whereas, particularly in the case of this liquid penetrant test also, only the surface finishing we have been observed clearly. In radiographic testing process, the objects which are having a maximum a depth constraint of 12 to 20 mm when its cuboidal shapes, such as this in its three-dimensional accuracies has been identified in the case of the radiographic technology. Indeed, to find out the further depth oriented objects, the frequency radiations increment to a maximum of gamma rays is suitable for finding the 25 to 30 mm range of the centimeters, 25 to 30 centimeters range of the objects. Later on, in the case of this eddy current testing process also, we have a detailed discussion that by producing the magnetic field over the primary coil with an electrical power supply, and due to the mutual induction capability, the generated electricity within the circuit framed, the analysis will be getting back as a result to the controller, plays a major role for identifying the defects existing within the limitations. And that is also limiting to an some of the depth orientation, but not much more. Coming to the point of our syllabus point of view related to this ultrasonic testing process, we'll be discussing the main principle of this ultrasonic testing process, which is a major phenomena utilized to find the internal structure of the objects. So there is any cracks or flaws that has been identified or existing in the casting process internally in the solid defenses can be clearly examined with the mode of interference in the case of this ultrasonic testing process. That is nothing but the vibration test, and we'll be calling as the vibration test by giving a sound waves as an input. As we have already known in our school age itself, sonometer is one of the example, and even our physics laboratory also sonometer is available. So by passing these sound waves need to be examined the vibration analysis. So that is a subject to the discretionary category in the case of the physics, how much sound waves are producing, how much frequency variation sound waves are producing. But coming to our subject, the propagation of waves by the generation of these sound waves is one part, and that wave need to be propagated in a unitary kind of directions with the help of the initiator or a probe, which will be in contact with respect to the work part which we need to examine. And in that, the concepts, there is nothing but wave propagation towards the depth of penetration towards the object, three-dimensional object. If there is any flaws identified over that, the reflection will be considering. And in some of the cases, in the hardest type of materials, the refractory concepts plays a major role by deviating its wave propagation with some inclinations. It will be tilting the crack which is having internally where the flaws or unfilled cavities are existing during the solidification process within the industry. So if those has been identified, the waves, sound waves which are propagating will be getting reflected back, because the conveying of passage with respect to the radiographic technology is missing with this ultrasonic testing process. There is a major phenomena or major point we need to observe here. So if we have been observing in the case of this radiographic technology, in the sense, automatically those rays will be bypassing through the medium and capturing the cavity at which range, or in the case of its dimensions. In the case of nanometers or millimeters, it will be clearly examining in its depth, and next overall it's a circumferential areas. But in the case of this ultrasonic testing process, we'll be propagating only the sound waves which will be having the capability of passing through the medium. But if there is any of the cavities or threads that has been identified in the three-dimensional object, those waves will be getting halted up to that particular position and will be getting reflected back in the ductile kind of materials. And for ferrous content or non-ferrous content of materials, will be having some of the incremental n carbon percentage when compared to the ductile processes, or else the polymers kind of materials. So in such a case, the concept of this refraction, by deviating its inclination at the reflection state, where the crack or this flash has been identified, at that particular point, the refractionary status will be getting taken place. And it even leads to the diffraction also. So that modes of conversions will be learning in depth in the ultrasonic testing process, and the representations will be visualized in our CRT screen, or else they will be converted with respect to our digital representations also. So that is a major concept of this ultrasonic testing process. And we will be visualizing by this effect of this sound waves. We can examine the flow rate considerations, finding electricity generation and passage and the limitations. The flow rate analysis can be examined, and within the thin schedules or thin tissues, whether the conspiracy or the material is being transferred from one place to another place, or can be clearly examined by utilizing this ultrasonic testing process. So particularly, it's the test plays a major role in the case of this medical diagnosis also. Medical diagnosis. Usually, if you have been observed, the medical strategy will be finding that ultrasound test. So that is the test will be utilizing for identifying the blood flow for each and every part of our body or not. So the probe, it will be getting connected, and externally it will be applied in our body parts, either it may be of the hand or else the tissues that are being transferring the blood circulation or not, and where it is getting halted. Particularly in the case of this paralysis kind of conditions, In that kind of patients, this test will plays a major role. So the blood clottings, if there is any identification existing, that can be clearly observed, and the clot dimensions and where it has been considered, and the internal tissues are being transferring the blood circulation to an from top nerve to the tip of the toe or not. So the sound waves will be getting passed and examining and a clear cut representation with respect to the frequency range in our medical applications. Hence, we are having a greater advantages by this ultrasonic testing process in the oil and gas industry also, for its identification of pressure levels and the viscosity variations of fluids if it has been passing through different places, and with what pressure and what temperature and at what velocity it is being circulating, whether the system is being operating in an default conditions or not, nothing but the programmed agitation or not, that will be clearly examining. Just like this ultrasonic test is nothing but one of the inspection process will be utilized in the industries for identification or in process compensation, or we'll be calling as that in process inspection process. So in that improper in process inspection process, whether this particular guidelines given in the form of a program is being processing, or else is there any halting agitations occurring, will be clearly examined. So this is the major concept of this ultrasonic testing process. If at all the default conditions which has been programmed is being satisfied, that feedback will be spontaneously in contact with respect to the control system. So if those two has been got matched, then automatically the result will be getting generated. Hence, that acceptance will be provided for packing section, or else the circulating towards the external zones from the industry. If at all any false conditions are being occurred, it raised to a dispute and will be getting rejected, and that limits the pressurized conditions or volumetric conditions from the industry to the external zones. So in order to compensate that, what are the advantages or additional parameters to be preferred, that need to be discussed, and by the utilization of this ultrasonic testing process, what are the advantages that we are having, that need to be discussed, that we will be discussing, and if there is some of the limitations will be existing, that's also will be clearly discussing in the detailedly discussing in our classwork. Coming to the basic introductory part of this ultrasonic testing process, normally the tools will be like this. This is the probe, which will be passing the echoes, nothing but the sound waves at different frequency levels over the system, and this is the CRT screen used to represent the detailed information that is being, whether the sound waves which are being producing in the form of this penetration, to which distance of that entire object these waves are getting produced, will plays a major role. That will clearly examine in this CRT display. If at all any crack has been identified, it will be getting halted to that particular point and will be getting a representation of a cavity formation or else any of the flaws existing, and will be getting returned back to the normal surface levels or surface finishing agitations. The major introductory concepts related to the ultrasonic testing process. So where we'll be utilizing this? This module will present a detailed information related to the ultrasonic testing, which will be utilized by high frequency of sound waves and examining the entire dimensions of the objects, and even we can have a clear cut measurements within the particular enclosed system or else the different orientedly or different um, dimensional containing rooms which are unknown. Those can be clearly examined within a fraction of seconds by utilizing this ultrasonic testing process. Or else we'll be saying that echo generation testing process also. So in the case of this echo, it's a small or mini frequency sound waves utilization for identifying the measurements of any kind of the objects. It may be enclosed or else the set frequency levels or set range levels. And in these ultrasonic examinations, a variety of material forms such as castings, even in the processing applications in our mechanical engineering, such as the casting defects can be identified, the forging defects can be identified, and different welds after getting the welded agitation in the industrial wide. If there is any defects identifying with a needs to the high porosity or the joint efficiency decrement than the basic reference parameters, and it all, if the amorphous status or liquid offenses has been considered, the mixation or blending conditions of the different kinds of materials such as composites will be normally will be calling as this composite materials. So combination of different kinds of materials, and in our language we'll be calling, in our mechanical language, alloying concepts present composites. So how much range of percentages that each and every material is being existing in different kinds of mediums. There's an even in the liquid medium or else in the amorphous state or else in the solid medium also, liquid, solid, and gaseous medium. And almost all in the three different mediums, the composition variations can be clearly examined between one material to the another material. That this ultrasonic testing has having the capability. And a maximum information can be captured where at the deep inertia of the solid body, if there is any discontinuous existing without filling the material as a layer wise format. Normally in our casting process we have been learnt that layer by layer the material will be imposed in the casting process from the gate, and the screw riser will be giving the impartation that the cavity has been in full condition. And later on, after the solidification process, complete solidification process, if the examination process has been considered, in between one layer to another layer may be having some of the defects due to the composition of the materials in the molten metal. So hence, this leads to an time leadings between the different kinds of materials having as a molten metal. Here, we'll be having a small example. molten material will be consisting of, for example, we have taken the three different materials. First one is an aluminum, and next the titanium, and next the cast iron. So cast iron is an hardest material, and it will be having the its melting point will be around 910 degrees centigrade and above. And whereas this aluminum will be of having the 610 degrees centigrade to 650 degrees centigrade of temperature, its melting point and boiling point. And coming to the titanium, it will be having a bit higher, that is 725 to 750 degrees centigrade. So the boiling point and melting point ranges is getting differed for three different kinds of materials. But these three different materials are having a similar constant state in the molten state, that is molten state completely in the liquid state. So when it has been transferred to the cavity of our desired specifications, automatically the solidification levels will be getting varied. So hence the time consuming for complete solidification will be getting varied from one material to the other material, will leads to a differential strategy in its appearance. If the color code has been given, then automatically different color oriented representations also will be observing. So nominal B will be using, will be watching our paper weights also. Will be having different kinds of polymer or pigment oriented representations. Okay, that will be discussing in depth. Okay, presently. And the major outline of this ultrasonic testing process is we will be discussing in the class is the applications towards this, the basic principles of sound generation, how the sound will be getting generated, and those will be split into different frequency variations based upon the type of materials. That frequency should be varied. If at all the hardest metals has been used or utilized with an high depth considerations, then high frequency oriented sound waves to be utilized, and pulse echo and thorough transmission testing need to be get done by utilizing this probe generation. Thus echoes should be passed within this particular material, and the receiver should clearly represent the entire portion which has been examined, whether it has been obtaining in an exact casting process criteria is being satisfied or not. In the case of manufacturing process, it has to get outline and inspection applications on where we are being applying this concept, whether in the case of this welding or milling or drilling process, examining process, yeah, etc. will be have to be clear, will be learning clearly, and what are the equipments that we are being utilizing. So nothing but transferring the sound waves with the cascading of electrical power supply, and hence for that indeed to transfer the power from one farm to the another farm, this transducers plays a major role. So hence the major application of this transducers with the equipment is nothing but it's a type of sensors which will be transferring the sensing element from one form to the other format. It's from physical to an electrical, or else from electrical to electrical, or else electrical to mechanical form again. Next, the instrumentation condition are the reference standards. So here the reference standards will be considered as per the ASTM standards, American Society of Testing Materials, initially in the case of our mechanical engineering. Later on, the Russian standards will be getting followed, and later on, these ISO standards or Indian standards organizations will be getting progress. And whatever the identification has been done will be represented in the form of an pictorial representations in the case of LED or LCD displays, or else if at all the frequency variations has been occurred in the CRT display, it will be monitored, and the report will be getting stored in the memory access, that is the data representation, and later on we can have this in the form of a printout documentation, and the advantages and limitations will be looking after it, and we'll be glancing some of the points where the 1 mark questions in the case of your mid examinations conducting by the JNTUK is existing. Coming to the basic principles of these sound waves, these are produced by the vibrating objects, and this travels in the form of a wave representation. So mainly the external sources will be utilized in any of the formats. It may be in the case of this electrical power supply that nominally we use it to visualize in our college also. So if you have been given the electrical power supply, automatically the a bulb will be getting run. So nothing but the electrical power supply you people are providing, and it is being transferring from electrical signals to the mechanical actions. So transducer plays a major role over here. Just now we have been discussed. And these producer sound waves travels through the materials by this vibrating particles and observe the conditions that has been given as an input to the material. Hence, the pitch of the sound, the capability of the sound, it will define or determine as per its frequency levels that the wave is getting progressed among the material, will clearly examine the bonding variations or the unit cell formations. Is there any destructions existing from one unit cell to another unit cell? So we all have a clear cut identification regarding the unit cell and bonding variations. In the second year MMS subject, you have come across that subject, unit cell and different structures regarding it. There is 14 different structures, that is Bravis lattice structures. So the unit cell formation and a combination of unit cells with particular dimensions. And this come to a pass with respect to an perfect linear movement of the sound wave, unless if there is happening any of the interfere in the form of this a reflection or a refraction. There is a change in its direction of a wave propagation with a particular inclination. And at all refraction, reflection. So simultaneously, if there is no any obstacle existing from the topmost surface of the object to the bottommost subject or object, then automatically the sound wave will be representing in a straight line motion, and the feedback also will be giving in the straight line motion thoroughly towards its back. So hence it represents there is no any obstacle existing at that particular fine. And indeed to identify this, see for example, here we are having the deviation in its unit cell. So hence the bonding in between one atomic particle to another particle is getting varied. Just now we have been discussed before that one material to another material in the form of the liquid, there will be its properties variations. So properties variations in the sense, and due to the solidification process, a normal atmospheric range of temperature, and technically we will be sounding that as a recrystallization temperature. So molten metal is the state in the liquid form will be existing above the recrystallization temperature, and that way a maximum range of recrystallization temperature when it has been got towards the recrystallization temperature. So automatically if you have been placed this mold in the normal atmospheric range of temperature, automatically it will be coming towards the recrystallization temperature, the normal atmospheric range of temperature. And based upon that, the variations within the unit cell formations will be getting taken place that will deviate when the echo has been or the sound waves has been produced at the upmost layer, the traveling medium will be getting destructed. So straight line form will be getting obtained, and the nodal representations will clearly give the feedback that the deformations are existing within the unit cells. If the structural identification is being done by utilizing the sound waves. So if at all any of the cracks or air bubbles that are being arrested in the solidification process, automatically those also the wave propagation will be getting done up to that particular point, and next the reflection will be getting taken place, and the bypassing axis will be getting left ideally. Hence we all know the entire topmost layer to the depth considerations, the overall length, and the up to where the echo has been propagated will be having the confiding of the length, and towards this from top level, and next if you have been consider this as an origin point, and next from here to at which frequency range, and can with the geometrical specifications clearly that particular crack or defect will be calling, either it may be of the crack or else the air bubble or else the existing wrapped conditions may be happened in the case of this casting process. So that will be clearly identified with clear cut geometrical specifications, and the rectification processes may be done, such as normalizing conditions or etching conditions, or else the some other nitrating process, etc., for getting that removal of those defects. There's another process. This is in the our inspection process, only the identification is a major. So these sounds well pitched and too high to be detected by the human ear also, and we can't able to sustain or resist that particular sound waves which has been produced, and even those sound waves will be produced with an enclosed finishing axillary only. Nominally in the medical kinds, if you have been observed, the probe will be just moving over our body parts in order to measure the blood flow rate. Blood flow rate. So in the muscles, which is consisting of the n number of neurons, and in that particular from tiny to a medium size or the maximum size, will be observing very much clearly whether the tissue diameter, how much tissue diameter should be existed nominally normal condition, and presently how much that tissue size is being existing. So if you have been identified any of this, and I will be showing some of the medical reports also in an for our good understanding in the next class, that they will be clearly visualizing that different dimensions of the particular tissues also. Coming to the ranges of this spectrum of sounds, in the case of this 0 to 20 Hz, that will be calling as an infrasound. The best example will be identifying in our Richter scale agitations for finding the earthquake efficiency. So how much range up to and how much range the earthquake has been commenced. So that nominally we will be finding in our Richter scale. Next, from 20 to 20,000 Hz will be reachable to our audible conditions, audible range. That is the way of conveying, or just now I'm delivering my content in the form of a lecture, and our mutual communications, or else the listening of the songs, watching of movies. These and all will be ranging in between this 20 to 20 Hz. Nominally we'll be calling as 20 Hz to 20 megahertz. 20 Hz to 20 megahertz. It's a normal audible frequency range. So if other than that frequency has been raised, nominally will be getting the irritated conditions, such as an high risk conditions will be coming to our existence, and neural functions will not be getting properly associated in case of working. That leads to a high frequency variation, that is greater than 20 megahertz. That will be calling as ultrasound testing process. So now we will be having a clear cut idea that the examining process in the case of our ultrasound testing process, that is utilizing to find the internal structures or internal functionality, whether it is being done in a correct prescribed manner as per the instructions given to the system or not. If at all any defects are identifying, up to what range the defects are being identified. So in the case of the quartz or else the crystalline materials, these waves will be getting passed, or even in the solidic offenses or semi-solid conditions also, this sound waves produces a clear-cut examining schedules and identifying the range to which the propagation conditions are getting deviated and how much the defects are being varied. The sound waves measurement will be varied with respect to its crust and troughs based upon the object deviations in its dimensions or in its unit cell formations, that nominally we will be calling as the structural deviations of the objects. And the sound wavelength is inversely proportional to its frequency, where many of these wave modes of vibration are used in the ultrasonic inspection. So by varying its frequency levels also, ultimately greater than this 20 megahertz, if you have been utilized the sound waves propagation, then it will be coming under the concept of this ultrasonic inspection itself. Nominally, we will be observing to pass these wave representations, wave propagations in the case of this our to identify our longitudinal defects or else the sharing conditions. Just we have been seen that before example that a sharing conditions has been taken place that will change the position of the unit cells due to the externally applied load or external parameters. Due to the external parameters, simply we can say either it may be of the hammering conditions or else any of the dynamic load may be occurred or any impact conditions due to the dynamical effects has been considered on the object. So automatically it gets into the deformative conditions and overall the dimensions of the object will be getting varied. So in our mechanical concepts, that mostly will be calling as a longitudinal waves, a shear waves, and a surface waves or Rayleigh waves. So Rayleigh, you people have already clearly learned regarding this Rayleigh-Ridge method in our FEM subject also, finite element and method also. So even you have been found the deflections in the form of mathematical representations in our finite element analysis method. There is Rayleigh-Ridge method. Elemental stiffness due to the load implications and shearing conditions you have been clearly observed. And those will be automatically calculated and will be represented in our CRT display by passing this particular sound waves. Ultrasound, which is generated with respect to transducers, and these are the normal transducers, from the electrical signal towards this generating towards the sound waves with a greater frequency levels. We'll be having a detailed look towards it. A piezoelectric element, which is utilized as a transducer that converts the electrical energy to the mechanical vibrations, such as this sound waves. And this is the a mutual strategy of working in condition. So mutual strategy in the sense it itself having the capability of producing the waves and passing the waves and automatically receiving the counter waves also. So counter waves in the sense after reaching to an propagation maximum propagation levels, it has to be tend back to its node of action. So nothing but source position. Node of action is nothing but the source position. So again, it will be recalling back to the source position and at which conditions, at which penetrations, at which depth. For example, it's the object, it's a three-dimensional object. It's the layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, 4, 5, and 6 layers. And at which layer the defect is being examined, and that too at what range. For example, if there is any air bubbler happening in the solidification process occurred, so what's this diametrical agitations? It will be clearly examined in the case of this ultrasound testing process. So this transducer piezoelectric material, which is having the bilateral agitation or capacity of this bilateral finding agitation, transferring of the sound waves, which produces greater than 20 megahertz of frequency and receiving back signals with a similar strategy by finding the defects and its defects dimensions. So nominally the piezoelectric meter will be of this kind of its different working parts among it. The major principle of this ultrasonic inspection, producing of this ultrasound waves into the material and traveling in the form of a straight line with a constant speed until the dead end zone has been reached, and at the surface interfaces this wave energy will be reflected and transmitted towards the maximum beat, and if at all any of the defects has been identified, that will be getting interacted and those dimensions will be clearly examined in the CRT display with respect to the frequency fluctuations, right? And the test techniques we will be discussing in the next class. Thank you.